Welcome to another 50-minute gamer video, and today I'm going to be talking about pineapples and the flesh-eating enzyme that resides inside of them. So sometimes, if you bite into a pineapple, freshly cut, usually sometimes your tongue itches or heck even bleeds. That's just because of the simple flesh-eating enzyme inside of it called bromelain. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yep, it's how it's pronounced. Now, I definitely can confirm I felt the tongue itching part before. Very irritating. Usually, it goes away after 30 minutes, but honestly, it's just 30 minutes too long. But on pizza, it's completely fine for me personally. I have no irritation of the tongue. No itching whatsoever. There is a boring, realistic reason behind that, but personally, I think the hatred of Italian people going, "Oh no!" is funnier to me. But in reality, though, the enzyme just gets destroyed when the pizza is, getting cooked. Now, speaking of pineapples, I have another interesting little short story for you all. This is a story about the Helligan pineapples, one of the world's most expensive pineapples. So, pineapples are by nature a tropical fruit, so growing them in a cold country such as Britain could be pretty difficult, unless you heat it up in an enclosed pineapple chamber, with the added addition of horse crap and urine being a key essential part of the pineapple's growth. Let me just get into more detail about that. So what I described just now is called a pineapple pit, and is one of the only ways to grow pineapples outside of tropical regions. The pineapple plant needs a good amount of heat to, actually fruit. So, take a peek at the screen for a second for a little doodle of how it works. I simplified it. The diagrams are, very complicated, but I simplified it with drawing. Okay, it consists of trenches covered with glass, slightly below ground level. Now, the outer trenches are filled with fresh horse manure, which gives off heat while decomposing. And now this hot air passes through tiny gaps that go into the central chamber where the pineapple is. It's separated by this wall here, as you can see. And so that artificially traps and increases the temperature of the air where the pineapple plant resides. So yes, the horse manure actually stimulates tropical air. Honestly, this sounds like some skit you would write down as a joke, but these pineapple pits have been unearthed and date back to the 1700s. Now, this is how the Helligan pineapple is grown. It's just a normal pineapple grown on UK soil from one of the pineapple pits. Now, the ones the Lost Gardens of Helligan use was found on the property and renovated in 1993, and the first pineapple was successfully grown in 1997. The second pineapple grown was actually presented to the Queen of England. I do wonder if that one vision during her life flashing before her eyes moment was a quick flash of a pineapple. Yes, this is the first UK pineapple. It's a big thing that I'm deathly curious about. Okay, now the process of growing is harder now that, people own cars over horses, and apparently the expenses for a winter's worth of horse manure transfers, of course, a lot. They need it fresh, so the rotting decomposed air can heat up that pineapple plant. Oh yeah, these pineapples are not to be sold usually. They're actually usually just given to the staff as gifts for their hard work on working in the gardens. These pineapples, from what I've researched and hopefully is accurate and correct, take about 2 to 3 years to fruit. Also, aside from the horse manure and costs, there is of course the maintenance of the pits and the many hours taken to look after a pineapple. The cost of maintenance to each pineapple exceed £1,000, the British currency by the way. They did not elaborate the exact number, but from an article from 2019, to the right buyer in auction, they believe a price around £10,000 may be imaginable. Excuse me, a pineapple is worth more to me than an organ? That's kinda cool. Actually, no, that's terrifying. What? Look, do you think the UK, do you think the UK housing, the UK housing market, do they accept pineapples? A singular pineapple to pay for 1 month's worth of rent? Where am I even going with this? I just talked about pineapples eating your tongue to this. This video was actually inspired by me biting into an apple, not even a pineapple. Anyhow, if you actually want to know more about the pineapple pits and the Helligan pineapples, there will be links to most of my references in the description. I think there's about 4 of them that I've researched, including a wiki page. So if you are curious, and I'm just gonna say it's there's huge history behind this if you want to follow down that rabbit hole. Again, links are in the description. So I'm just gonna talk about the apple that inspired this whole video. I just simply wanted to eat an apple one day after lunch. Grabbed one from the fridge, wanted to take a bite into it. Decided otherwise at the last minute that I wanted to eat it in slices. I'm so glad I decided that. I cut the apple in half and just see this hive mind of a fungi society right in the core of the apple. I would not have known of this from a bite on the outside. This thing was in deep. It had its roots spread everywhere in there. I could have gotten like food poisoning or something. And yeah, that was the apple that inspired the pineapple, aka this video. Anyhow, again, thank you so much for sticking around if you made it to the end so far. I'm gonna try to upload weekly now, with more experimental rambles and whatnot, but again, thank you, genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support so far. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye!